During the mid to late 90s, the WWF Attitude Era was king. Some fans think that the Attitude Era is the best era in professional wrestling history. However, looking back, was the Attitude Era really that good? The WWF Attitude Era started somewhere after the infamous Stone Cold Steve Austin 316 promo.
You sit there and you thump your Bible and you say your prayers and it didn't get you anywhere. Talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass.
And it ended somewhere around WrestleMania 17. During this time, we had a rise of some of the best talent of all time, including Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mankind, Triple H, The Undertaker, and of course, The Rock. With these giants, we had tons of smaller stars that played an important role, such as Ken Shamrock, D'Lo Brown, Val Venus, The Godfather, Goldust, and many, many more. This time also brought us some of the greatest factions in the history of professional wrestling ever. The Nation of Domination, the Corporation, the Ministry, and of course, D-Generation X. They all had a huge part to play in the WWF side of the Monday Night War. With all these great things, we can't forget about some of the negatives. The women's division. Women's wrestling was almost non-existent at the time. Any women that were featured on the program were used for sexual appeal. They even had a group of women called the Hoes. When we did get women matches, they weren't very good, and most of them were gimmicky matches such as bra and panty matches. The storylines. Although the Austin McMahon story may be the best wrestling story of all time, there were some of the worst. Mae Young giving birth to a hand, Val Venus getting his penis chopped off, a real-life boxing tournament called Brawl for All, and a wrestler who ate his own dog. I'm not making this up. These were real stories. The wrestling today, well, we have some of the best in-ring work of all time. Back in the Attitude Era, wrestling came second to the character. Yes, we had some amazing main events, but the undercard could be a little underwhelming. Even though wrestling might have not always been the best, the stories always shined here. I can't even name how many fantastic stories of all the wrestlers that we had in the Attitude Era. They really did have some great television. So I pose this question: do the negatives outweigh the positives of the Attitude Era? I'd say no. The Attitude Era took place at a time in culture where everything was more adult oriented. Yes, they had foul language and sexualized women, but that was everywhere at the time. You had shows like Howard Stern, Beavis and Butthead, MTV, and eventually South Park. On the Howard Stern show, they would literally have women get bologna thrown on their butt while they were wearing thongs. This was television at the time. Was this okay? No. But this is how society was at the time. The 18 to 25 male demographic wanted to see this kind of stuff. And me, hitting puberty at the time, I definitely wanted to see this and much more. WWF was a product of the culture around it and made the best of what they had. They were competing with WCW and Nitro to make sure they didn't go out of business. So doing some of these tasteless, shocking, and odd type of entertainment helped them become the #1 wrestling promotion in the world. When you look back, there was a lot of terrible things on the show, but it did also spawn some of the greatest wrestlers of all time and gave us one of the most entertaining television shows every week.